go. We're going to slide this down. We want to make sure we've got our little rubber washer in there, little rubber O-ring washer there, and our location pin, which is stuck in here, but it goes here and here. And what we want to do is grab this timing chain, and as we slide this down, pull the timing chain through. We'll find it best, get a little screwdriver or something, bring it through, and just so we don't lose it, we'll get something a bit bigger. Just try and get those location pins started. There we go, they're on, and those 4 bolts came out of there. Now, so we don't lose that chain, that bolt that goes from this other side all the way through to get to this cover plate, push it through, there it is there, that, push it all the way through, let the timing chain just hang on that. Now, I'm going to do these up just finger tight. And remembering those nuts for the cover head, there's a little copper one, and the copper one goes on this bottom left hand side there. There we go. So I'll put all them on finger tight. There we go. 1, 2, 3, finger tight. Now I'm going to throw this bolt in here. It ties the cam head down to the piston ball. Now I'm going to do this guy up pretty tight. So that one up pretty tight and this one up pretty tight. There we go. There we go. Now, before we get any further, let's get this sprocket on. Now, I'm just going to put this on loosely, but that little dot lines up with that little notch. That means top dead center that way. But we want to get this top dead center down here. So I'm just going to put it on loosely for now. A little bit fiddly, but get a little flathead. Come on, you bastard. While I'm fiddling to get that on, I'll just pause the camera because this could take a little while, but okay, I've managed to get the chain on to the sprocket. Now you just got to get it over this little hole. Can be a little bit difficult because it's tight, but without letting it go, I'm trying to pull it forward. There we go. Got on the hole over the little notch. I'm going to just pull that pin back through, and those 3 bolt holes I'm not going to do up just yet because I'm very carefully going to turn this engine around till it's T, top dead center over here, and then once I've got it top dead center over here, then I'm going to have to locate this guy so that dot lines to there, which means top dead center there and top dead center there, and then that way I can do those bolts up. So that's when we come along, undo this cap, so we can see the top of the stator and a 14mm bit. Get that 14mm bit guy there on that. And we want to turn this anti-clockwise, looking down the top here until we see T for top dead center. Where are we? T, somewhere. There we go, T. I've got the T and the line perfectly lined in there, and this one actually has a little notch to line it up with, but basically straight through there, and that's top dead center. Now that that's top dead center, because we very carefully we're letting that slide around, you can see now the dot on that sprocket is all the way over here. I want that dot to be lined up here without moving that chain. So the easiest way to do that now is I'll hold that sprocket there, and what we're going to do is just get the flat head under here and lift that chain off, and I'll just walk with my finger, walk that sprocket around until that dot's over there. So the sprocket actually fell off when I was doing that, which is also fine. Now that it's off, I'll just do it this way without losing it. I'm trying not to move this from top dead center, so I'm trying not to pull tension on that chain. Just gonna take that chain off that sprocket and swivel that sprocket around until I get that little dot to line up at the front here, or close enough for now. It's pretty close. And then I'll throw that chain back on there and see how close we got it. So this is going to be a little bit hard to do, but what you're basically going to do is keep your finger on that sprocket. It's loose, so you don't lose it. And then you've got to kind of try and turn it around as you're walking the chain, because I want to get that dot over to the front here and get these bolt holes lined up. So you just get a little flathead and just walk the chain. And as I'm walking the chain, the sprocket slowly is rotating around. As you can see, that dot's getting further and further around. So I managed to get it on with the bolt holes lined up, and it's top dead center. But as you can see here, the dot is down on this side. It's in that line, but that dot wants to be up here pointing to that. So I need to get that sprocket around to there. So what it's saying is that's top dead center, and that's technically top dead center, but it's opposite to each other. So I'm on the firing stroke with the piston at the top. So I'm gonna have to turn this right round until it comes top dead center again, so it's on the compression stroke, and then have to re-swivel that round so that dot's on there. So I'll go full, watch that doesn't come off, and I'm gonna turn this right round until I see top dead center again. They're coming slowly so it doesn't jump on me. See that dot's getting closer to that groove. There's F for firing. And then here I come to T. Top dead center, T. And the line's there. And as you can see, that dot is pretty close. It's about one tooth up. So what I'm going to do, that's top dead center, and that's now where it wants to be over here. So to get that dot over there with that tooth, I'm just going to have to walk that chain again. Get that little flathead and hold it there and just walk that chain around till that that sprocket moves one tooth lower, so it lines up with that. And then I should be able to line up those bolt holes. So as you can see, we're top dead center, T over here. That dot is down the back side. So that's on the firing stroke. So we want to keep turning that again all the way around till that runs around to the top here. So that means we're on the compression stroke. So we're looking in the hole, and I can see, just keep my hand on there, looking in the hole, and I can see firing, F for firing in the line, and then T. There's T for top dead center. T for top dead center. That's pretty close. I don't know if you can tell on the camera there, but the notch is there and the dot is just above it. That's literally one dot away. And so I want to swivel that cog like that, just one tooth. So I'm going to crab walk this chain off and just crab walk that around one tooth, and then those holes should all line up. Trying to walk this chain around without losing it. There we go, managed to walk it around just one tooth. And if I can get it onto there. This is the pain in the arse spot. But you're gonna just try and force this bad boy on there. Oh, you bucket. There we go. Now I can just see those holes. Now that cam should have a little bit of movement, so very carefully hold that on there, and if you can see one of those holes without busting the threads, just turn the cam lobe around a bit so those holes line up. There we go. Top dead center there. That dot, it's a little bit off on that line, but it's close enough. That's what you're gonna do. And then do those bolts up. So let's do those bolts up. That's top dead center, and it's top with that. 10 mil, let's do these guys up. Done. We'll do this guy up as well. That's for that wheel. I'll get a bit on that. It's done up. So that's done up, that's done up, that's done up. They're done up. T for top dead center. The dot and that groove lining up meaning that's top, and the cams lined up. So they're all lined up. Now all we have to do is do these guys up. And what we want to do is do them up firm. If you're doing it by hand, do them up firm, but not too tight because you'll crack that aluminium. And then just once they're all done up firm, do them in a crisscross pattern. Just give them a little quarter notch further. And then they're all done up. So they're firm and a little notch. 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 That's that. It's all on. New bore, new piston, cylinder head back on, timings lined up, all done. You get this little cover case, you got your bolt that comes all the way through. Again, you don't have to do these up super tight, they're just soft aluminium, just enough so they seal. And that's got a little cardboard gasket on there. Try and keep that intact because it does have oil that comes through here. So we'll just do that up. There we go. And once again, we don't do these up super tight, just sort of notched them up a little bit tight with your hand, and then just a little crack further. Just doing up that cover on that other side. There we go, it's getting firm. That's probably firm enough, and then just a little quarter turn further. That's it. Your new cylinder and piston is on. Now you just put back all your spark plug on. Oh shit. Put your spark plug back on. Get your carby, bolt your carby back on. Make sure you got your gasket there. Once your carby's bolted back on, get your exhaust. Put your exhaust on. Kick her in the guts. When you get round to it, if anything along the way you want to know, let us know. We'll work our way through it. Done.